January 2025, in December 2025, a colleague of mine wrote an article with title 2025 was the year of speed, and 2026 will be year of quality, claiming what companies will stop rushing into speed and will begin take care of the quality of things what they are shipping. So how are you people? Feel the year of quality? Anyone? I see. Yeah, so I'm very much with you on that. No. Reviewing this article, I said something like, this statement is overly optimistic, is the most polite way I can describe it. Well, he's American, so we need to be gentle, right? As an engineers, we cannot afford being optimistic, especially overly optimistic. We need to be realistic. The reality is we are shipping faster, can't argue with that. There is a teeny tiny problem, we are shipping bugs faster. And working in code review system with millions of reviews per month, mostly on GitHub, that's frankly scary. So, also last year, we released a white paper, like there has been a big research, and we attribute multiplication of 1.7 times more bugs to AI-assisted code. And that's not really a problem, what AI code has bugs. Funny enough, you will disagree with me at first, but wait. The real problem is what we ship them. And that's what I want to talk about. It's not a problem what AI writes some bugs sometimes. But as we get into the new reality, we need to introduce new metrics so we can understand what's happening with our projects. So we definitely need new TPS understanding, tokens per slot, time to first bullshit, and my favorite P99, pure slop, 99 percentile. I wrote a blog post last year looking at how people do their job with reviewing, helping others to do better job in catching slop, just pure bullshit. Reading code is harder than writing it. It's not me saying that, it's Rich Kernigan. Well, he said debugging, but we can say what reading and debugging are largely related. We are getting more PRs, we are getting significantly bigger PRs, and for most of them, they're just authored by no one in particular. So there is more and more PRs delivered not by some developer, but there are more and more PRs developed by agent based on a Slack message. Those are the worst. So funniest part here is what AI promised, what our job will be easier. And it became harder, because now the pleasure of the job writing code happens significantly less often. But the harder job on reviewing and reading someone else's code, which looks great, and sometimes like have passing tests, but doesn't really does the job or does it in a very creepy way. That got much more, and that got much bigger. CodeRabbit watches all major public incidents, and there is a little research as much as it's possible on our side based on public information on what exactly happened, how exactly happened. And yeah, there is definitely a correlation between introduced of AI-assisted code and especially like pure agentic coding and the way how people deliver that and the way how it was developed before. And we should not forget, but guns don't kill. People kill. There are two problems, as I see it, currently in the software development. And AI is neither of them. That's like, no, AI is not guilty, you blame AI. No, guns don't kill people. The truth is, point number 2, is SDLC is built for human. Software development lifecycle is just not designed to a way how it's used, or better say abused right now. And first, like, are there any managers, product managers, leaders? Like, no? Okay, I see one. Good. So that's not about you, dear sir. But I really see it in many companies. Management got drunk or like flying high on because they saw, oh, like, we can write things 10 times faster, and they look good. I mean, the code look good, code looks smart. So let's just ship them, If you ship fast, you're still gonna have tester, you're still gonna have a review process and testing. The problem is it will happen after delivery, not before. Who will do it? Users. And there is a question, who are users? We are. So you work in one company, I work in another company, both our companies deliver shit. You subscribe it to my product, I'm subscribed to your product. We are enjoying that. I really want to stop it. So, we got very, very fast cars, we can say flying cars, very fast flying cars, with no brakes, no traffic lights, we will get to this point soon, and drivers are drunk. So, if we will not do it, no one else will do it. That's our jobs as engineers to mount the brakes and help people sober up. Now, how do we do it? I do hope it will go slightly faster. And I will say about how we make it happen faster. But here there was a huge difference between first car and first traffic light, some decades. We should not be afraid to make mistakes as long as we consciously, continuously learn from them. And preferably, if we not let our users, our customers, to encounter them. That would be just the best. And thing I want to talk about, number one, is the culture of experiments. How many of you, if it's not a secret, of course, have a culture of experiment in software teams? Like, that's our theory, we will try to do it this way, when after a sprint, if you have sprints, or after some time, if you just like mark some time, week, days, then get the results, measure, talk, adjust, run experiment again. Like, how many people are doing that? Not AI necessarily, but in general. So, yeah, I see 1, 2, 3 hands. Yep, so 4, count me. It should be employed more widely. It must be employed more widely. The truth is, as I said on the previous slide, no one hell knows how to deal with this shit. It's completely new. And we all are making, experimenting, and learning, so don't be afraid to make mistake. Just learn from this mistake. Make a theory, run experiment, gather data. Does it go better? Does it go worse? Okay, make a next theory. Adjust, and again, and again, and again. There is no failure if you learn from it. Preferably, as said, if there is no unhappy customers testing for you. Now, it's hilarious how people don't think about what the project we're working with. We need to treat differently different projects. So we need a new level of SLA, slope level agreement. So how much slope we can afford having on this project? And there is no wrong answer. But your project can be completely slope. When I was learning how this thing works some years ago, I wrote tons of slope, and it was completely fine because it was learning and no customers were harmed in the process. But then you are working on something what like people gonna die if something goes wrong. Then your SLA gonna be higher, specifically as in slope level agreement. Any answer is fine, but you need to make a decision consciously on that. And as I see it, from my point of view, it's a function of testability and expected project lifetime. So if you are going to close it in a week, then maybe it's fine. It's just a test run. And if you're going to use it after 10 years in a nuclear power station, then you might want to treat it slightly differently. And function of testability, so very much depends on how well, how easily it's tested. So like there are things of different ability on how it can go for you, how the quality is. Prompt review. I was prompt review, not pull request review, not change set review, but prompt review. That is interesting thing. At first, I was highly negative about that. I read about that, so like, what kind of bullshit it is, and close it. Then my colleagues introduced me a new feature we've been secretly working on. I was like, okay, it began to make sense. So the story is, there is one-shot prompting and multi-shot prompting. Significant part of the time, people were doing multi-shot prompting, opening their cloud, opening their client, opening their LeetCode, whatever, and adjusting as it goes, making corrections to the course, steering the course in the correct direction as they see fit. As models became better and better, as agents became better and better, more and more often people begin to do one shot, or so like in single prompt, everything should be done, or at least like in a smaller count of shots. And with one-shot coding, with one-shot prompting, for bigger features, it super much makes sense to first have a good plan, have a very good detailed prompt written by AI, then reviewed by you and your colleague, owners of the things. About ownership we will talk soon. And then this plan is reviewed, and then the feature owner says like, okay, good, that looks good, I think it will work nice. Then it can be executed. And funny enough, now I do prompt review for bigger features relatively often. Not for all, you still better do some things in multi-shotting, but it's still very nice for many cases. Good. Ownership. So Git blame is dead. At least for our company, most of the things are coming from agent, which gets these sometimes reviewed, sometimes not. Prompt makes a plan, makes a pull request, and it will be always authored by company name agent. And most PRs, at least for us, now have non-human author. Like in the projects I see, really most of them in our company. So every component, by component I don't mean like React component, but more as a part of a project in a bigger way. Every component needs a human owner or team or person, it depends on your setup, who will be doing reviewing of the things, the change sets coming there, and that's very important. Because once, like AI's responsibility is no one's responsibility. Because you will not fire an AI agent. Well, I mean, like you can decommission it and bring another one. But that's not exactly what we do. So there always need to be someone who will push the trigger, and this someone is the one taking responsibility. Might be different for your approach. So I know companies whose responsibility is the one who initiating the change. But for tons of minor changes, they are initiated by the product team, not by engineers. So like by product owners who might be good designers, good managers, but not really great engineers. So they can explain to an agent what they want, but they cannot really verify the change set. So very much depends how, but you need to have an owner of the change, or someone who initiates that, or someone who merges it. And second thing, we need every component, at least that's my sincere recommendation, every part of a project, every sub-project, any microservice you have, to have a human owner or group of owners. Ownerships mean responsibility. So when they really begin to really review the code, because it's hard to review a code. So people begin to avoid that. Looks good, click done. Then something what should have taken 25 minutes becomes 5 minutes review. Of course, not perfect. So we really want to catch those things. Ownership means responsibility. And getting to point number one, what management often forgets, ownership means power to say no. It means what if owners say, no, we are not doing this that way, it's wrong, it will do damage. That means that's in their right to push back, and they should do it. AI review tools, I will not stay here for long. We are CodeRabbit, so if you are, maybe you are, hey, are there any users already, like CodeRabbit? Yeah, I see one. Good. So come talk, I believe. So I became an employee with CodeRabbit because originally I was customer of CodeRabbit, and I just loved it that much, so I decided I want to deal with those guys. But no matter you have something in-house, you use something different, think about feeding that with context. By itself, AI review can do pretty decent job catching some things, but it gives the best result with linked issues, with design docs, with multi-repo analysis, and other things. You really want to pay attention and run experiments and see how it goes. And the biggest, anyone there in the world saying to you what, oh, okay, code has been AI reviewed, just merge it, send him to me, we will have a long, nice discussion. I'm specialized in AI code review, and I sincerely believe what our project is best or one of the best in the market for this. AI review does not replace human review. For the review, you also need to have something what LLMs don't have. Judgment. This is one of my favorites. Tech debts lead to tech debt slavery. You know, like old time ago, people who couldn't pay their debts were sold to some, like into slavery. So that's the same thing what happens with tech debt. So we need to be very, very, very careful. And now again, getting to a point number one. Management often believes what AI will solve the problem. It will not. It will not. Let me tell you a story. In one of the projects I'm working with, me and another engineer were discussing rate limits. What are the rate limits for this feature? And I did a little research using agent, and he did a little research using agent. We received different results. So I told him it's rate limit like X per hours. He said Y per hours. It's like, no, okay, man, your agent gives slop. That cannot be. Like, my agent is better than yours. And he, of course, had opposite opinion, right? So then he went, made a screenshot of, he found out the source file, made a screenshot of his file, sent to me. Then I went, found the source file, made a screenshot, sent to him. Those were two different files. Now, wanna guess which one of those files were used for real rate limit calculation? Actually, both. There were a third file, what neither of agents considered, which been merging the results and using max of those two. At least max, not min, so friendlier to users. But you see, it's very easy. Agent is asked for a rate limit, agent goes, finds rate limit, returns rate limit. Everyone is sure it's the right answer. It's wrong answer, like at 2 levels wrong answer. And without proper review and without proper steps from the previous one, from the previous conversation, it will only get worse. So I know companies who currently tell to every engineer, burn as much token as you can, as fast as you can, run 10 codexes in parallel, get shit done. AI will review and we will ship. Yes, they will. They will begin paying for that very, very soon, losing customers, and then it will get significantly worse than later. Maybe someone of you can remind me, I forgot the name. There's been a saying, what essence of software engineering is controlling complexity. Who said that? So I forgot the name of the author. It's been said decades ago. Nothing changed. Essence of software engineering is controlling complexity. Maybe someone can Google it. So what we are implementing and what we are bringing to our projects it's not a new tool, and we should not, oh, I mean, of course it's a new tool, but we should not treat it as just a new tool. What we want to do for real is take it as a principally new way to do software development lifecycle. And we need to adjust and learn, and I don't have a ready answer. I have some, but maybe you will find something better, and please come and talk to me. I will be very happy to talk to you. But what's important, run experiments, investigate incidents. And by incident, I mean simple bug on production, what doesn't really even affect the users. Before, it would be just fix this and done. Now it should be investigate how it got there. Because if you not take it under control, it will take control over you, and then you will regret. Reputation is a wonderful thing. At first, you lose it drop by drop, and you don't notice it. Then you lose all at once, and no one uses project anymore. And that's a huge trap, what I see hundreds, thousands, whatever number of companies rushing into that. If engineering will not stop that, then no one will, or will much later and by much bigger price. We develop applications for ourselves. Even if you don't use your own application, maybe you use mine, and I'm definitely using yours. Let's take care of the users. Let's take care of ourselves, just as friends to friends, as people to people. We are CodeRabbit. We are trying our best to help people to ship not only fast, but also ship good. That was Aleks Volochnev. Thank you for watching. Questions? Yeah, sure. So we have a couple of minutes. I will be happy to try to answer your questions.
Raise a hand. Hello. Thank you. That was great talk.
Thank you.
The prompt review you mentioned. How are you guys doing that? Is it like kind of similar to the pair programming, or do you raise prompts as a pull request? How does it work?
Okay. Will be so. The overall idea is what before launching something one shot, you just watch what you are going to do. But so I will tell you how we do it at CodeRabbit. And it might be inspiration to do like this or to do better, would be wonderful. The idea is, on our side, we support special tool called Plan, CodeRabbit Plan, where you just tell, this is a ticket, for example, GitHub ticket or Jira ticket. I need a plan, design it for implementation. And then AI first run is not to solve the problem, but to understand how better to solve the problem. And there is a sophisticated system what considers like your Jira, considers your Notion, considers related repositories, if any, so microservices, backends, whatever. Considers previous issues, existing pull requests, and rollouts, make some decisions. They are visible, so it's important not just to have just some generic plan, but to have plan where you see what decisions were made, and then you can, having this plan just as a piece of text, you can say like, okay, this decision I agree, this decision no, better go with the way B. One chat is done, the plan is solved, you can push the button, send it to agent, and get it done. The idea is for smaller features and for small corrections, you don't need that. But then you're implementing a big, huge thing. If you don't review, you see, you will need to review anyway. If you don't review prompt, when you need to review something you completely don't understand implementation. And reviewing code is harder than reviewing just like human plan. Almost human plan.
Right. So is that some sort of the UI that I don't know if any engineer from the team can have input into, or?
There are two ways. Planning layer is the same. There are two UIs for GitHub for open source projects. What also can use Plan for free. So Expo, for example, uses CodeRabbit. I don't know though if they're using plan. So you have a GitHub issue, for example. You say CodeRabbit plan it, and job that happens, and you get it posted as a GitHub comment to an issue. Then you can run it. For customers not on GitHub, it might be easier to use Web UI on CodeRabbit app.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, but I don't want to talk specifically of CodeRabbit. I want to talk about the concept, and everyone can implement it.
Do we have more questions? Maybe two.
There is one. I see.
Hi, thanks for the great presentation.
My pleasure.
I would like to ask you about how you see the current role of unit test written with the assistance of the AI, which with actually more the complex and weirder projects does happen.
Yeah.
Admit it's me, but at least a few times they are also human reviewed.
Yeah,
also me, fortunately. How do you see it in this situation?
So I know what very many people will disagree with me on that. It's opinionated. I always was skeptical about unit tests. I always was skeptical about unit tests. Let me explain. So unit tests are wonderful because they quickly identify the location of a problem, if they can do it at all. And in my, at least, personal... So I'm not saying unit tests are worthless and don't write unit tests. No. If there is, for many projects, it's wonderful and you can write them very easy. So it's one of the jobs what CodeRabbit does. You just set there the checkbox, it will write unit tests for you. We use unit tests. Unit tests are important. But the point is, maybe you've seen this wonderful picture. Titanic is sinking, and there are green squares passing unit tests. So that's precisely, Titanic is sinking, but still they have plenty of passing unit tests at the moment, but it's already doomed. So unit tests are wonderful because they quickly localize the problem, specific problem, if it can catch. But AI can easily write unit tests and adjust them to match the reality the way LLM sees that. And that's the problem. So you can have all the Titanic unit test, fine, syncing. So you always need to have few more layers of testing, and it's very, 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 very important. It saves tons of human time because when you can write, I'm very lazy. I'm super lazy engineer. I'm like laziest engineer on the planet, or one of the laziest, I believe so. I like it, then agent can do the job for me, and the more tests we have at different levels, then agent doing this single shot will do something wrong, test will break, it will see what something goes off, and then agent can adjust it. So final result delivered to me already has -1 problem. Wonderful. But unit tests, it's definitely not enough. Still, of course we do. Of course we do have.
Maybe a last one.
There are two more questions.
There's two more.
Yeah.
Okay.
We totally can talk after the meetup.
Yeah,
I will be happy.
Hi.
Okay, so my company uses Cursor Bugbot for automated review of PRs.
Sorry, uses what?
Cursor Bugbot. Yeah. And I sort of wonder, because it always finds a bug. It's really quite annoying like that. And I wonder if it can find bugs so well, why can't AI write bugless code?
So basically that comes from the way how large language models run. Again, so first, writing and reviewing is different task. And for example, like, who want to guess how many different large language models I employed in each and every single review CodeRabbit runs? How many LLMs participating? Oh, yeah, different LLMs, completely different LLMs. Over a dozen. Because different LLMs are better for different tasks. And it's the problem what we can generate easily and they can adjust many things and make good job, but still catching those is, so I don't know how Bugbot works. I didn't play with that, so I have no idea. If they employ the same approach as we do, then it's all about taking different approaches on how this problem may contain their story. Theoretically, you can adjust your agent to do at least part of a job in advance. Prompt review also might be helpful. But yeah, it's a fundamental problem with neural networks, creativity, if you say so. Yeah, I will be glad to talk about later. I'm afraid I ran out of time. But yeah, I'm afraid it's fundamental limitation. And it's kind of good because it means more job for us. And as long as this job is getting well paid, I don't mind that much. Just let's watch what we are shipping.